New Curb coming out. 2020. That's a reason.
How old is he?
He's old.
All his friends are old.
I was
His friends
watching.
are dying.
I was watching. Yeah,
Like Funkhauser's not going to be in it anymore.
it sucks. I
Yeah,
liked
it
him.
sucks.
I liked him. I watched an episode the other night randomly, like the last season, season 9, where he got a fatwa against him, and they had him in the shower.
Was the last season?
Season 9. Maybe they don't have the one posted. It was the first episode where he got a fatwa. He wrote like some play.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny. It was classic. It was pretty like. Actually,
That's not the last. That's
maybe it's not that
because he moved to New York. That's the one where he moved to New York.
No, I think there's one after that though. There's because he moved to New York. He got
because of the fatwa.
He got a divorce. No, is that okay? So that's the season then. Wait, I don't know, man.
I don't know. No, he moved. Didn't he move to New York because someone asked him if he could come to dinner? And he got caught in a lie.
It was a dude from Saul. It was Saul's brother. Better Call Saul's brother, Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had like
McKeon.
He had some like a disabled kid or something, right? It was for his disabled kid. Yeah, so he moved to New York. So I remember him going like, "But you're here, Larry. You're here." It's just like hilarious how he said it.
It was, oh no, I got canceled. I'm going next week.
Yeah.
Or no, that's what it was. Like the party got moved or something.
And then that's when he met Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
And then he was up.
So that wasn't the last season. There was a season after.
This is it though. This is it. Like he was in. He was anyway. He's in the shower like a lot in that episode. And it's like, dude, you like look like Mr. Burns. Like, why are you doing this shower scene? It was like it was relevant to like the story. And I'm not like shaming him for being old, but like, yeah, man, I think he's like 76, maybe 77 at this point. I mean, he was on SNL playing Bernie Sanders still. He's hilarious as Bernie Sanders. He's hilarious in general. I watch old Seinfelds and I hear him like voicing stuff. Like he voiced Steinbrenner, Frank Costanza's lawyer, the man with the cape. And there's one where he just like yells out something. Oh, it was with George. It was when George was lying about being the whale, marine biologist. Yeah, so the whale's like beach. And someone just goes, "Does anybody know a marine biologist?" It's Larry. It just makes it more funny knowing it's him.
That's where I'm at right now. Instead of watching all these news shows, it's like I want to go back and we'll rewatch like from the start. And I've started already with The Simpsons.
Oh, dude, my brother did the same thing.
It's so good.
You watch how it declines, though.
I will
after
not,
a certain season, it gets like fucking like it changes. It's
I will
completely
not
different.
Watch The Simpsons that took place in the 2000s.
No, it's 90s. Yes.
The first 10, maybe 9 episodes.
I would say by 2003. I'd say maybe the first 2 years of the 2000s, but like there was a drastic overhaul change or whatever, like writing or whatever, because you had like Dana Gould, you had Conan O'Brien, you had Phil Hartman was on the show. I mean, it was just so edgy too. It was so edgy and
but it's
like
so like just watching back, and I know it wasn't like a kid's cartoon, it was kind of an adult cartoon, but like a lot of things I go back and watch that I watched back then, like I'm like, this is dumb. But The Simpsons, like, oh my god,
I love it even more.
Right,
Yeah,
it's
I love
so funny.
Mm-hmm.
The jokes are so much more funny as an adult.
I just liked it as a kid because it's like, ooh, it's a cartoon. But it's
it was
like
edgy at the time.
Yeah, it's edgy. It's still edgy compared to like a lot of stuff now. Compared to The Simpsons now, it's way edgier.
Yeah,
Simpsons now is like I don't know what to call
Why
it.
is it even on?
Just because
who watches it?
I don't know. They make a shitload of money with merchandise and you know Simpsons Simpsons video games. I mean the guy who voiced Mr. Burns, not Hank Azaria. I can't think of his name. He was in Spinal Tap as well, I think.
Yeah, Harry Shearer.
He quit, and then the voice of Mrs. Krabappel passed away. Yeah, and then I mean they had that whole controversy about Apu with Hank Azaria voicing Apu. So yeah, I don't know. Usually that would like ruin a show, but it didn't.
So are those characters still on?
Yeah, that's what's scary is weird. It's like they'll just have someone else do it. Yeah, you can have. I mean, I know guys who can talk like a bunch of characters. You just get one of them people. They come in and I'll do Mr. Burns, yeah, and you can't even tell the difference. But he ain't getting that Harry Shearer money.
Yeah,
all those guys, they get paid a lot. Like Dan Castellaneta, the guy who does Homer, they all do like 20 people. They don't just do one. They do like 20 people. So they are. It would theoretically would not be that easy if like Dan Castellaneta dropped off, because you gotta find a voice for Skinner, you gotta find a voice for Barney,
right?
You gotta find someone who can do them all. I think he does Krusty too. No, I think Hank does Krusty. Hank does like Chief Wiggum, Apu, if he still does. I don't know if they took that away. Apu, I mean, yeah, I'm not. It's like it's obscene, like how deep they're in, where it's like, yeah. but I guess they said fuck it to that one guy because I think he did more than Mr. Burns too. I think he did multiple people. I mean, they're getting millions of dollars. That's a sweet job.
Yeah.
But I don't know why he quit. I don't know if he wanted more money. Remember they went on strike?
I remember hearing about that.
Did the voice actors go on strike or was it a writer's strike? I remember
writer's strike was a while ago.
Writer's strike was years ago. Yeah, but they wanted like more money. They wanted the merchandise. They wanted the money off the merchandise. Because that's honestly, I think, where the money is right now. I don't think anybody does watch it. I mean, now Disney owns it, so it's off Hulu.
It's off Hulu.
It's off FXX.
I don't think Hulu had all of them though.
They did. Or FXX.
FXX did.
Now it's a Family Guy. They switched to Family Guy, which just rips off the Simpsons and South Park pretty much. It's a funny show though. I like it.
Yeah, so now it's back trending again because of Disney Plus.
Yeah, so let's go into that. Do you have that now? And that's actually something I did research for the show.
I was not boycotting. I'm like, I don't need that. I mean, there's so much stuff on there.
You got rid of Netflix, though.
I did get rid of Netflix.
Did you see
that?
My
thought is, okay, going into this new age we're being forced into by these media conglomerates, I would rather tell myself and listen to my kids, hey, I want to watch this movie. And as opposed to like proactively liking to watch something, as opposed to I'm going to scroll here and then, this is available. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not making myself clear.
No. Let me see if I understand you. So you want to be like, you seek something out versus this is what's available.
Yeah.
Okay.
So instead of going to a buffet, like I don't know what I want, and going to a buffet,
you order something,
figuring something there. I'd rather order something.
You want your kids to desire the programming versus whatever is available. I'll watch.
I mean, it's not a parent thing, but it's just especially with them. It's like, what do you want to watch? I don't know. I'm just going to turn on Netflix. We don't have Netflix anymore. I'm just going to turn this on and just find something.
I'm really enjoying Netflix though. I'm not trying to stick it to you.
That's fine. It was
End of the Fucking World season 2 is amazing.
I'm still watching Netflix. That's the thing. Like I'm going out and finding these shows.
Oh, there you go. You're seeking them out.
Right.
Yeah, I never understood that. Okay, and that's not just Netflix. That's just not streaming. Did we talk about this? Or did I talk about this with somebody else? Where there's people who. And I'm not putting them down. Again, disclaimer. No, I'm a comedian. Yeah, it depends on who you ask. Okay, so like back in the Blockbuster days or the video store days, people would just walk in and go, that looks good, and grab it without doing any kind of research, without knowing anything about it. Oh, that looks awesome. That looks like an action movie. I'm going to get that. Mm-hmm. I never could be that way. It is the same thing where you just like go stare at Redbox and go, I like that. That looks cool. Same thing with Netflix. That looks cool. I'm going to watch that. I think that concept always has exist. It's just easier now because I would always, if I went and rented a movie, even with Netflix, I don't just randomly put something on and go, okay, let's hope for the best. I'm not going to invest time into it. I research it. And I'm not like everybody else. I mean, we're more, we hold shit to a higher standard than maybe more other people. But like, End of the Fucking World, I read about it, so I sought it out. Ozarks, again, I heard about it, so I sought it out. I didn't go, oh, hey, Jason Bateman, let me watch this. I heard it was good.
Yeah.
People go to movie theaters. Oh yeah, let's see this movie. You don't know what the hell it could be, and then you walk out. That stunk. It's like you should have fucking read about it. Like you should have looked at the reviews.
I mean, movies are a little different.
Blindly though, blindly going into something with no clue is stupid. Unless like someone's going, "Hey, this is really good," and you trust that person.
But at the same time, we've talked about this before, and I've noticed because a lot of my favorite shows are going into their last seasons.
Like what? Not calling you out, but like what? What do you mean?
Mr. Robot.
You like Mr. Robot?
Yeah.
A little creepy fucking Freddie Mercury fuck?
No, you have something against Freddie Mercury, not
Freddie Mercury. No,
the show.
No. Rami Malek.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never watched Mr. Robot.
Okay. It's one of my favorite shows.
I don't think he deserved an Academy Award for Freddie Mercury.
Okay, so that's why you're...
I thought it was weak. I thought the movie was weak. I think it was overrated. and they just made it so like classic rock stations would basically just play Queen all day.
But he's the perfect fit for that for the Mr. Robot character.
Mr. Robot, yeah, some creepy little fuck, yeah. They put a mustache on him and make him act gay. I'm serious. That's what they did.
Yeah, I know. I saw it.
Give him an award.
Anyway,
all these dumb fucking kids are like big Queen fans. It's like, really?
No, I know.
Really? Brian May looks like George Washington. Looks like fucking Beethoven.
Mr. Robot.
Queen's awesome. Not bashing Queen. But yeah, Mr. Robot's ending. I saw
Silicon Valley.
Silicon Valley. So T.J. Miller's off that, isn't he?
Oh yeah.
He ended in a bad way behind the scenes, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I saw him do stand up. He's
well,
funny,
that
though.
and he was a victim of the Me Too movement, so he got blacklisted.
No, I think he's going to be okay though.
No, I mean whatever.
At the time, yeah. So they distance themselves, like every supporting place. Oh shit, you're a liability. Everything you've done for us that we value means nothing. Get the fuck away. Get the fuck away.
Especially if you do. I think he was the voice of some Viking in the How to Train Your Dragon series.
He's in the Lego movie. He was in the Emoji movie because that's what he talked about when I saw him do stand up. He was like, he was just talking about how everyone trolled him, and he's like, $50 fucking million, fuck you, like, I don't think he's over. I think he's
no one's over. They're just
some people are over.
Who? Besides what's his name? The troll out of them all.
The troll?
Weinstein.
I don't think he's over. I mean, I think
you don't think?
Well, what do you mean by over? Like, I think behind the scenes he'll still be relevant. I think
there's no way he would get listed as a credit anywhere.
I still think he'll collect a paycheck. What about Bob, his brother? Is his brother like done too?
I have no idea. What's his story?
I'm sure he knew everything that his brother did. If not, he's got accusations as well.
Yeah, I don't know.
Bunch of creeps. Okay, so Weinstein, Matt Lawler, he's done. They just came out that he like anally raped some lady.
Let me finish my point before we go back to that.
So we start listing everyone. Start listing everybody that's done. Canceled.
What we're talking about. So last seasons, no one's talking about these shows.
I've noticed
besides Game of Thrones. So I feel like there's money involved.
I noticed
reviews for shows.
Yeah.
Because like once they're in their last season, like we don't care. We're not going to pay for that.
I noticed that Silicon Valley is not a big deal. It is the last season, and I noticed that it's not a big deal at all. Like, it doesn't have a huge fan base.
I don't know. I just remember like shows that I were really into that I wouldn't watch live. I would have to avoid certain sites the next day because they'd be talking about it, and that's not the case anymore for those. Not really so much Silicon Valley. Like Mr. Robot's kind of a like secret or whatever, like where you had to watch it, or if it could get spoiled the next day.
I think it's like we talked about. It's like a social narrative thing. I think like people attacked the Joker and shit because they thought like, oh, it's wrong to like have that in the movie, have like violence. And I mean, I talked about the LA Times or New York Times or whatever, some irrelevant paper that I shouldn't even be worrying about, making it like a racial thing where it's like, that's what reviews are at this point. It's basically like, I don't like that message versus that was well done. The directing was phenomenal. The acting was superb. The cinematography was top notch. The story was great. It was well paced. A whole bunch of surprises. Non-stop ride. Bring the family. No, this is why it's wrong, and it has nothing to do with like the art form. And I think that's where reviews are right now. I just saw that. I saw the latest Terminator movie.
How was that?
I was doing a stand-up thing, open mic afterwards, so I was like, probably like, I'm getting more comfortable. It's not like worrying me so much. I mean, probably not. But I was probably like not paying attention to it as much because I'm like, okay, even though whatever, it didn't even matter. But I was like, yeah, this is entertaining. And then like I read about it, I'm like, yeah, this is a bunch of shit. It's like
say it again. So
I found it. I was like, oh, this is entertaining. I'm enjoying this violence and explosions, and I like it. I didn't go into it going, oh, this is, I really like this or whatever. I didn't really put much thought into it either way. I was focused on the open mic that was downstairs afterwards. That was my main reason for being there. I was just killing time. So I'm like, okay, I'll see this Terminator movie. Then I started reading about it. I'm like, fuck yeah. They like made it some like female centric like thing. It was like, I mean, whatever, man. But like, It didn't occur to me. So
you're saying
do I need someone to point that out to me?
You saw it, you enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it on a level that wasn't like, oh my God.
You had your own opinion about it and then you
I didn't sit there and go, oh my God, why is this a female? Oh my God, female driven. Now I there was a Latino Terminator, and I remember thinking and going, oh, well, that's well done because they're marketing to outside just white people, which I'm like, you shouldn't make them Asian, since obviously we all know because of South Park, well, not just because of South Park, it's a fact. They do well over in Asia. And even like the Transformers, I believe, I haven't seen them. They had Asian people in them in the last few movies to appeal more over there. But yeah, I didn't think about any of that shit till I read it, and I'm like, well, they're fucking right. Now, I would put this on the level of the Joker, I mean, I read those reviews of the Joker, and I'm like, they didn't change my mind.
Yeah.
And it didn't change my mind, but I'm like, yeah, I agree, because I'm like, it's exactly what they're going for. They're trying to do like a female reboot kind of it. I mean, they had Arnold in it at some point, and they had like a male Terminator, Latino Terminator, but it's like, yeah. So I don't know what's worse. Me going to a movie and going, that was fine, that was cool. Them pointing out the issue and then me ruining it for me. Or me not realizing what they're doing. The movie people. What's worse? Or can I just be happy and not give a fuck?
I think that's with everything. That's the internet.
It's Terminator. Let it go. Who gives a shit if they want to market the females?
Let's do something that's more on a bigger scale.
I didn't walk out of this movie thinking it was amazing, okay? I just, but like they put it in a perspective where I'm like, that's fucked up. They're right. It was a Ghostbusters thing. You know what I mean?
So the latest, not latest, but the latest biggest was the Game of Thrones last season.
Hmm?
So what did you think of that before you read people's reactions?
Let me adjust myself first.
There we go.
I don't know if I've always said this, but I just started watching Game of Thrones in the last season. Okay,
that's right. I can't ask.
No, you can though, because I can answer that. So I watched the last season, and I'm like, oh my God, this is fucking amazing. Because like the fucking hour-and-a-half battle scenes, those are cool as hell. Okay, and yes, everyone is upset. Everyone's mad. Everyone's pissed off. I'm like, whatever. This is like fucking great television. This is a movie. Each of these episodes is a movie, people. I get it. 6 episodes is not enough time. But my God, how can you say this is horrible? And I don't think anybody was saying that it was horrible, because I realized what they meant when I watched the whole season. It was an unfitting ending. The Jon Snow Daenerys thing could have went on for a whole another season, and they just wrapped it up. Boom. The Daenerys, what's the redheaded chick? His sister Sansa.
Yeah.
I mean, they had a riff that they're kind of like they kind of built it up, and then boom, it's over. Like that could have been a great storyline where they're like clashing. The Hound and Arya and all that. I mean, it's just like, okay, it had cool aspects. I would say it's like a badass like television filmmaking, but they weren't true to the story. And they've even released those 2 guys talking at a panel, and they said, we have no clue why we were picked to do this in the first place. We were not fans of this shit. They didn't say shit, but we were shocked. We were like, are you sure? We were even questioning ourselves. So they even admit they bumbled it. They fumbled it or whatever. Bumbled, the same thing as that word. They're admitting they didn't give a shit. So everyone's right. I mean, they even acknowledge, yeah, we fucked up. We don't know why it was our job in the first place. That's like what they're saying.
The whole thing was just so weird because I'm kind of like you. I watched every episode before that, but I watched it really I think I watched everything up to the last season live.
Mm-hmm.
Or everything up to, and then I watched the season before this last one live.
I just never had consistent
So I didn't watch
access.
it for 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Like a lot of people, I watched it, anyway.
If you did, though, I can see how upset you would be. After watching the whole series and the quality of what that was, I can see how you could be upset with that. But not knowing and seeing just that, it's like, this is awesome. Fight.
I
This
liked
is
every
great.
episode until I saw people's reactions.
They ruined. That's where you're getting.
So
yeah, they ruined it for you.
But because they all point out like why this didn't make sense. Well, yeah, that didn't make sense. Like, what about this part? Oh, yeah, that didn't make sense. But I completely forgot about it as watching it live, and not remembering things that happened in season 2 or season 3, or this. Oh yeah, I forgot. I mean, this is kind of a different show because there's so much going on. There's so many storylines.
It's hard to keep
But
up.
like, what about this riff? I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot those people leaving had a thing in last season or the season before. Kind of the same thing with like even the last Star Wars movie, where there's so much hype, and then you go to it, it's like, yeah, it was okay, it was different, but I enjoyed it. It was, it wasn't like this great grandiose Star Wars movie that the one previously was, but I enjoyed it. And then you read the backlash, like, oh god, yeah, maybe it wasn't that good.
When I saw that Terminator movie, they showed a preview for that, and someone yelled at the end of it, "No one wants this," and everyone laughed. Yeah, I remember thinking like, "Oh, you dick!" Like, what if I really like? I was so, whatever.
He's in the minority. A lot of people. That's the thing.
People laugh though. No one goes, "Fuck you!"
But pulled
out their lightsaber.
Here's the culture now. It's for those type of movies, the Marvel movies, and
it's because people feel like they own them.
Well,
it's like, I support you, you owe me.
Well, yeah, I guess Star Wars is a little different. There's so much hype. There's years of
that movie
hype.
looks amazing, by the way. That's new Star Wars film.
Oh, I know.
It looks like
I'm gonna see it.
I don't like of all the things there's the ones with like Jar Jar Binks. Yeah, I yelled at after that, but not that was like I saw that trailer. I'm like, oh my fucking god!
This is the bow that J.J. Abrams is gonna put on the whole. It's not even it's what is it now? What's a 9 series?
It's
anthology.
Yeah. It looks,
he's going to put a nice little bow.
I'll be honest with you. I'm going to see it.
I'm going to see it too.
I haven't seen
the question
any Star
is,
Wars.
when am I going to see it? Because I wanted to see it opening night, but like, sold out. And
when is it? Is it out yet? When's it coming out?
No. It's like right before Christmas.
Of fucking course.
It's every year. It's not every year. Every time there's an episode released, it's like December 21st or 22nd, and it sucks because, especially for my family, because I have Star Wars fans, and so if you don't see it, it's like, don't talk to me about it, because there's always
I'm that guy. I can't keep my mouth shut. I'll be like, oh god, oh god.
We're not even going to acknowledge it until I see it.
Yeah.
And so, but because of the last movie, I lost a little interest. I'm like, I don't care.
Which one was the last movie?
The Last Jedi.
I heard the Han Solo movie was bad.
I didn't see that one. I didn't.
People hate it.
I'm not a huge Star Wars. That's the thing. Like, I'm a Star Wars fan. Like, I'm a Marvel fan. Like, it's a big cinematic movie with a storyline that lasts for years. Now, Star Wars is many more years than Marvel, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's an event, and I want to be a part of that. I don't want to be the one that's not a part of it. And yeah,
like
that's fine.
Like me.
That's fine.
Not consciously. I just, I don't know.
But then then there's people who shit on it just because they're not a part of it. I'm not saying you're one of those people. Marvel, Star Wars. What's the other big one?
I've never shit on any of that stuff.
Well,
I'm just thinking. I'm thinking to myself, though. I'm thinking to myself.
But it's like Game of Thrones. Like, if you're not a part of it, it's like, well, who cares about this show? Well, a lot of people care about that.
That's everybody, though. Everybody shits on everything they're not involved in. Like,
and
you like a band, like that band sucks. Well, you don't listen to them, so shut the fuck up.
Right. And I'm guilty of it. I mean,
we all are.
Not so much. Like, I never got into Harry Potter stuff, and I was the same way. I'm not gonna watch that wizard shit. But a lot of people are really into it.
You see Game of Thrones, not knowing anything about it, and it's like, this is like stupid. This is like Dungeons and Dragons shit on the surface with no knowledge.
Even the first couple episodes.
So people with no knowledge is like, everyone's obsessed with this. This is stupid, but it's like, take the time. It's epic as fuck. But to give you an example, I wrote a review for the Devil's Rejects sequel, 3 from Hell. And if you remember, it was a very positive review. I enjoyed it. And the reviews have been either love it or hate it, depending on what you like. Someone on social media watched it and roasted the fucker really bad. So I watched it again and I fucking hated it. But then again, like, I was just like, this is not good. This is bad. So what the hell? Like that.
It's really weird.
It is weird because I'm like, everything this guy says Because at first I'm like, wow, attacking a Rob Zombie movie, how brave, like that's such a controversial stance. To me, you go into those films and you suspend reality, sort of. You suspend, it's going to be an exploitation kind of film. But then I'm just watching. I'm like, yeah, but I hate it. Like,
but that and it's not even an internet thing. I mean, it is definitely for.
I could have saw this guy like on the street and he said that. I would have thought the same thing.
It's the same thing. If anything, like if you watch this movie or show, okay, you watch it first, and then like your girlfriend, wife, brother, something watches it later and says, "Oh yeah, I didn't like that. Why didn't you? Well, because of this, and then you watch it again, like, oh yeah. And then that person's thoughts are in your head.
Yeah, yeah.
As opposed to, well, I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that. So now you're watching it from their eyes. And then, like, yeah, that makes sense.
Limp Bizkit, like, I liked Limp Bizkit. Like, everyone liked the first album. And then, like, the Significant Other, is that the one? The big one that came out?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember someone on the bus going, they sold out. And that was before, like, he was, like, a douchebag.
Mm-hmm.
He just meant he sold out, because selling out is becoming successful.
Right.
But I couldn't let that go. I eventually, like, hated them. But then, like, he proved the point by, like, constantly, like, not shutting the fuck up and being everywhere. Fred Durst. He, like, ruined himself. He should have.
Music's still good, though.
Huh?
That music's still good.
Yeah, it is.
I enjoy it.
Yeah,
and that, like.
But, like, he pointed out this guy was a douchebag. And I didn't realize it till this guy pointed. I would eventually probably have. Everyone did. But that's, I thought this guy was cool. I thought the album was great. It's fucking awesome. One of the, cool songs. It's a fucking sellout. He's a pussy. He's got a hat on backwards. Like, oh, yeah, that is kind of lame. Yeah, this guy sucks. I hate this guy. I mean, it escalated because he kept running his mouth. He was always on TV. He's on TRL. I mean, he's like, yeah, that's pretty sellout. Like, if you're on TRL, hanging with Carson Daly back in the day, you're a fucking bitch. But yeah, I mean, people ruin shit, I guess. They ruin stuff. A ruiner. There's stuff that I have liked, though, that people have shit on that I will not concede. I'll go, you're wrong. You're wrong. I mean, you have an example of that where someone has just eviscerated something that you thought was great, and no, you're fucking stupid. Not like you're stupid, but like, you're wrong. I love this, and I will never admit that it's bad.
Yeah.
What?
Oh,
And I've had people dog Tool before, and I'm like, no, fuck you. Tool's amazing. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
I've had people dog the music I like because it's like, oh, that's stupid, weird shit. It's like, oh, fuck you, you're stupid. You know what I mean?
I don't know if I have. Like, I don't watch movies anymore. And all the TV shows I watch are...
I mean, I'll give you an example. I love Sacha Baron Cohen for some weird reason. And he's put out some questionable stuff. And I'm like, no, you're wrong. It's funny. It's funny. I mean, is it like Oscar worthy? No, but it's funny. I don't give a shit what you say.
Mm-hmm.
You can say it's stupid. Yeah, it's stupid, but it's fucking funny. I don't care. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've seen shit that I thought was amazing, and then I see it's got like a 0 on Metacritic. I'm like, I don't care. I like it.
Oh, well, that definitely. This is more. I don't want to say political. More. Dave Chappelle. I watched going into that, like, oh, it's awful. I'm like, this is fucking great.
A lot of people like that, though.
That's what I mean. So I don't know if that's a true example.
But you didn't read a review of someone hating it going, yeah, I don't like this. Now, someone told me recently that they liked it, but he seemed angry and bitter. Would you agree with that? Like, I hate this new world kind of scenario. I saw the Juicy Smollett thing. That was fucking funny.
Yeah.
The French actor, Juicy Smollett.
Juicy.
Not only was he French, but he was also black and gay.
I feel like his material was just the same as his last special that no one really talked about.
Did I tell you one of the bits I saw? And I'll even say it, okay? Full disclaimer. I do not feel this way. Jared does not feel this way. This is from a Dave Chappelle special. We were discussing this commentary. So, he's talking about rape. I mean, it seems like he fucking just goes there. Like, he's talking about guys getting raped. He's like, in Houston, and this might not have been his special this time. It might have been his last special. But he's like, in Houston, there's a guy going around raping other guys. And he's like, that's fucking hardcore. And he's like, now, ladies, it's not like when you get raped. I'm like, whoa. because he's like basically dismissing like females getting raped, which is awful. So it's not like when you get raped, he's like, when a guy gets raped, he uses the N-word. Gotta take that to the grave. So you come home all disheveled. Where you been? Leave me alone. It's like you said this one time. I think one of the last few. It's awful, but the way he says it, there's some sort of way where it's not awful. You know what I mean? Where it's like that is awful, but like,
isn't that their job though? Comedians' jobs.
I don't know.
To take like the.
Let me know what a comedian's job is.
Well, every comedian special. I mean, look at.
Excuse me.
Look at old Eddie Murphy. Look at old, not old, you know what I mean?
Have you seen Dolomite?
The previous. No, I haven't. Is it good?
I don't know. I'm just
like the previous. Like
I love how he's back out of nowhere.
Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy. Look at those. Like they said some horrible stuff for the time, and then just made. Oh yeah,
I saw the it was a roast of Richard Pryor, and like every like hate word you could think of was used.
I mean, what comedy. Even Chris Rock, like that's what comedy is. It's taking something super serious and trying to make a spin on it to make people laugh. Not everything, not every comedian, but there are certain comedians out there and that's the type of comedy I like.
Do you think that's dying though?
No, I think it's coming back.
Do you think that because there is like and I'm not I don't really know the comedy world. I'm just like I've been doing open mics. It seems like people are pretty like legit, like not like we got to be okay, but there's a sect of people I think that are like socially conscious and they do like socially conscious humor. Do you think there's not an audience for that?
It's like anything. It's like people. It's like successful podcasts. It's like successful tours. If you've already made it,
you're okay.
You're okay.
But if you haven't,
you're just starting out and you're trying to get
the fuck up.
You follow the rules.
No, I went to this.
Follow the social rules.
I went to this one open mic and it was funny because I wasn't funny, but it was funny because the guy like got up there and he's like, "All right, so Dave Chappelle's got a special out. Bill Burr's got a special out. None of us are at the level where we can have those kind of commentaries. So like, you can say what you want, but like, don't talk about abortion or you can do it, but you're not Dave Chappelle or Bill Burr." And he's like, "How come when Jim Gaffigan has a special, no one's like all motivated to get up there and be like crazy?" Because he does bits on cake.
Man, he's doing like a third night.
He's huge, dude. You were saying he was a nobody, not a nobody, but you're like,
he's not an A-lister.
A comedian. In the comedian world, he is. As an actor, no.
I think
but
that's what we're talking about. We're talking about.
But as a comedian, he is a big deal. The people love him. They love him. He was on that '70s show, and he was in Super Troopers. I mean, that's as far as I know about acting.
Somehow I'm on a list. I'm on a mailing list.
Jim Gaffigan?
I get Jim Gaffigan up, or it might be the venue he's playing at.
Yeah, me too. The Stapler or whatever.
It's like second night. Okay. Third night at him. Like, God,
5,000 people. So he's like sold out 15,000 people almost.
How do you do? Is that in one day? How do you do a third night? Like not third night, third show. Is that one day?
No, it's probably 2 days.
That's a lot.
Because when I saw Chris Rock, he did Saturday and it sold out. Sorry, so they added Sunday.
Well, a lot of comedians will do 2 shows in one night.
Yeah, they'll do a 7 and then they'll come back and do a 9 or 10, and then they'll do that like for a weekend. And that's that's the club scene. Normally, when they add another show, it's like, woo, it sells out like in like 2 minutes. So they're like, oh yeah, let's get more money. Right. And the venue's usually like, yeah. Kevin James came. Do you think he did good?
No.
The Adam Sandler crowd didn't go see him?
No.
Is he like good?
I've never liked Kevin James.
I hate Kevin James. Can I just say that?
No, you're not allowed to say that on this podcast.
This is a Kevin James friendly. I don't get like why. I guess there's a list of people where you don't get like why they are where they are. But I've never seen him do stand up, and so maybe he's a funny stand up. But King of Queens, I mean, typical 90s sitcom formula where I'm a fat ugly guy with a hot wife, and the whole concept is I'm trying to get out of being a good husband, but I'm just lovable, and everything works out in the end.
Isn't that technically what Adam Sandler was? Not fat though. Every movie he's in, he has like the hottest supermodel wife.
Yes.
And he's not really an asshole, but
he's some lovable loser though.
Who's like has anger issues.
Yeah, but he's lovable though.
But he's lovable.
And he gets the girl, and he gets the bad guy.
And he does a lot of dumb shit in the movie.
Yeah, and in real life would like cost him severely, but like he overcomes everything, and then he wins and gets the girl, and the bad guy's defeated.
And all of his friends are there.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
All of his friends are always there with him.
You know what? You want to know why Adam Sandler movies do good? And he's got a fucking movie out that looks. Oh
I
my
wanna see
god!
it.
Oh my god! They're talking Oscar for this guy.
wanna
So we
see
talked
it so
about
bad.
can he turn it on? He can turn it on when he wants to. He turned it on when he was on SNL. And he turned it on for this.
There is your example.
What?
I love every single Adam Sandler movie.
Let me tell you why.
I don't care.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. I know why. Because I go, why do people constantly flock to the theaters to see the same movie essentially over and over again? And I'll tell you why. You can disagree with me or not disagree with me. The world is a horrible fucking place, okay? It is a horrible fucking place. It is. The pain and suffering and misery. An Adam Sandler movie, it creates this world where like everyone's friendly and everything's just like it makes like his view of life or whatever, right? It's just like it's simplistic, but it's like it makes you, even if it's not as funny as like the other movie, there's just something friendly about it where you just like, this is how I want to view life. It's just like, ha ha, you know, or like you make a dick joke, or like Grown Ups, where the second movie is just them fucking around all day till they have the party and then they fight the Twilight Kid.
And then you see David Spade in a giant wheel going down. Oh, that's
Yeah, I mean, it was just
so great.
but it's just like this. It creates a comfort. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And maybe it's nostalgia because he made some really good movies when we were kids, or
I think
maybe
it's
they
a little
weren't.
bit of everything of what you just said.
It makes you feel. It's like she's like, I wish life was like that, where it's just so simplistic and silly, and you know, yeah, no one picked you for sports, you know, like just everything was just like that, and he has no ugliness or pain or suffering in any of his films, which shouldn't
Except
be
funny people.
Well, that wasn't his film. That was
okay.
that was Judd Apatow, who is you know, every movie he has is painful at some point because it's awful. No, I like his films. I can't stand him on Twitter, not because of politics. He just can't shut the fuck up. I can't shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up.
Unfollow him.
I don't want to because I like him too much. I like him too much. I like Freaks and Geeks. I've liked every movie except I've seen like half the Trainwreck and it was okay, but I didn't hate Amy Schumer or anything. I thought it was what I saw. I liked it. I thought it was funny. I didn't think Bill Hader was a leading man, but whatever.
Talk about.
But Adam Sandler creates a world that a world that you want to live in. It does. A world that we all wish we live in, where everything was just silly and fun and games and just, you know, no worries. There's no worries. And then if it is a worry, it's some childish worry that like no one stresses out about. It's a great escape.
And you can just be angry.
Yeah.
And he's not angry now, but he's like, whoa, I'm going to do some prank or do something and get away with it.
He went from being a hostile man-child to being still a man-child, but now he's like, oh, I'm old and sad. Like, kind of like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. He's still who he is. He's like aged. He's like, he's evolved like properly. Like, I feel like Will Ferrell has not evolved properly. I feel like Will Ferrell's still like struggling to like be who he was in like the 90s. And
what the hell has Will Ferrell been in besides?
He was in this horrible Sherlock Holmes movie that was like
didn't even see it.
Got like no stars. It got like a 0 on Metacritic for like a week.
Did you see it?
No, not at that.
Maybe it's really good. I don't know.
That's where I'll believe people. I mean, I was reading comments. Walked out. So he's got that.
Who made that?
He's not working with Adam McKay anymore. Adam McKay's going in the Oscar kind of movies, and you know, Will Ferrell's.
Yeah.
They're stopping Funny or Die, or they did stop it.
McKay's films are so good now.
Well, you know, it seems you could see there's a lot of people who work with the director, and their movies are great, and then once they separate, it's like they seem lost.
Yeah.
Like Sacha Cohen had the same director for like his first 3 movies, and this last movie he didn't, and I still think it's funny, but it's like you could tell it's different. It's like having like a producer for an album, and then you don't work with that producer again. You're not going to sound the same. Mm-hmm. But Will Ferrell looks like shit too. Have you seen him?
I don't think I've seen him.
He looks like shit. He's not aging well.
Well, he was kind of not old, but he was older when he entered the game. Like Sandler was like in his early 20s.
Sandler was full blown Pete Davidson at the age. Yeah.
Will Ferrell was what, 35?
I don't know, 27. I mean, that's older.
He was older. Maybe not.
I don't know. I just think that he needs. I think, you know, you have like you have an act, you have a bit, and then it runs out. And then you need to do something else. And he needed to start making serious films like that one where everything must go or whatever. Like he needed to start doing dramas, or he needed to start making movies where he consistently. He stopped. He shouldn't have been making this Sherlock Holmes shit. This
I can't even tell you the last.
Daddy's Home with Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah,
Stepdad.
That was pretty funny.
It was funny, but it's not the same.
I forgot he was in that.
It's not the same. It's not the same. It's not. It does. You take that, you put that next to Anchorman or another one of his movies. It's garbage.
Well, Anchorman 2 was garbage.
No, it wasn't.
In my opinion, it was.
You watch the unedited one. There's one that's like 3 hours long, dude. I told you this. You can tell they're just making shit up at some point. They're not even like following the script. From a comedic standpoint, it's great, but they cut it down to an hour and a half. And the versions they put in the theaters is PG-13, and the unrated ones like R. And it's just like fuck. Just, it's so funny. And Anchorman 2 was never going to be successful because it's like compare it to Anchorman. You can't, compare it to The Golden Child. It was never going to. And certain movies come out at a certain time. Doesn't mean that kind of movie's going to work again later. Like this Coming to America 2. Like, I mean, is that going to work in 2020? Or, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. The Eddie Murphy thing? Like 40 years later, 30 years later? I mean, it was a good movie. I liked it. I've seen it. It's
good.
A
sequel? Like Eddie Murphy's in it, right?
It's him now, like years later. I read the synopsis. It sounds bad. I can't remember what it was, but I remember going, that doesn't sound good at all. And Eddie can make shit, man. He's made some bad fucking movies. So
what movie? I got to pee so bad. Talk about a catheter. I want to continue this though.
But
so
I'm
gonna go pee.
They're making Ghostbusters again. You heard that, right? They're bringing everybody back.
I wonder if this will reach the bathroom.
They're bringing Bill Murray and all them back. But like, do we need that? Is that going to work now? It worked in '84. It worked in '87. Is it going to work now? I mean, I think
the question is, who do they make these movies for? I won't have the headphones.
Well, I think they're trying to fucking.
Is it just merchandising?
Yeah, it's Dan Aykroyd pretty much. He owns it since Harold.
This ain't gonna reach.
Since Harold Ramis died.
You got a corner I can piss in?
You piss in this bottle. Piss in the trash can.
I wish I could. It's almost long enough. You can talk amongst yourselves, though. I can hear you from the bathroom.
All right. Which I wanted to say something to you about that. It sounds like they got some racist shit that they're like either like not going to play or they're cutting out. Do you know anything about that? Like shit from back in the 40s. There's like this one about like a slave, and like I don't think they're going to air it. And there's other stuff like I'm reading articles where they're like touching shit up, kind of like taking shit out that wouldn't fly today. Disney Plus, Washington Post, Disney Plus warns of outdated cultural depictions in some films. That's not enough, experts say. Disney Plus adds disclaimer about racist movie stereotypes. And then I read the article about this like slave movie that they're like, we can't show that.
I wouldn't be surprised if they edited some of the Simpsons episodes.
Are they racist?
No, but just like, Disney's all about family friendly. Not everything.
Yeah.
There was an episode where Michael Jackson was a guest star or guest voice.
The guy was insane, right? He was.
I just watched that today.
Yeah,
and I thought I saw a headline somewhere that they were someone was trying to get that episode canned. Now I didn't watch it on Disney Plus. So
why?
I don't know if it made it to Disney Plus.
Why is that offensive though? Because it was just a guy who was insane who thought it was Michael Jackson, and the joke was it was really Michael Jackson.
Just like anything in this day, anything that's associated with anything.
I don't get it though. Because it's Michael Jackson. That why? Because because of the pedophilia.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got you. Let
me see if that's. See, we got derailed. I do have.
You had to fucking urinate, dude.
No. Way before that, because I do have Disney Plus. The only reason I activated it because I got it for free.
Well, you just said you didn't have it.
I didn't say that.
You lied to our audience.
I didn't. I don't have Netflix. You asked me.
Disney Plus warns users older movies have outdated cultural depictions. Oh yeah, the fucking crows. Remember the crows? Like Heckle and Jekyll?
No. What's that?
Here, look at this picture right here. By Dumbo. Like, see those crows? Remember those crows? That's fucking bad.
I never saw Dumbo.
Oh, man, they talk like fucking black stereotypes. It's bad, dude. It's really bad.
Michael Jackson episode of The Simpsons has been cut from Disney Plus.
That's a good episode, man.
I just watched it today. It's really good.
You watched the last one.
I watched it on. I downloaded.
You know what?
I downloaded all the Simpsons. I don't want to. Like that's the thing.
Walt Disney. is an anti-Semite. He's a well-known anti-Semite. So fuck them on trying to be PC. Also, I'm going to take this even deeper. The Epstein cruise Disney took cruises to Epstein's Island. ABC doesn't want to cover it. ABC's owned by Disney. So they want to be PC, then like don't support pedophilia. You're going to cut Michael Jackson, but then you're going to send your cruise to Jeffrey Epstein's Island, and then you're not going to report about him fucking getting killed? We have to go into that fucking thing. I'm just saying, like, that's hypocrisy at its finest, isn't it?
That's the thing. Like,
plus they make these racist fucking movies about some slave they can't cut. But let's, we're gonna make sure this Michael Jackson episode, which is a classic episode, it's a classic because Bart thinks it's really Michael Jackson. Mm-hmm. Homer wears a pink shirt, right?
Yeah,
he wears a pink shirt. That shows you the times. He wears a pink shirt. And they think he's insane.
Yeah. Who does this man think he is?
Yeah, he just like
I'm not cool enough to be different. Well, that wasn't the biggest outrage. The biggest outrage is that they're not showing it in the original aspect ratio, which FX dealt with from the blowback from that too when it first launched on that platform. Instead of showing it in aspect, the 4:3 aspect ratio, which they're doing it on old movies,
yeah,
they're stretching it out, so you're getting the top and the bottom cut off.
What do you mean? I'm sorry, help me out.
Here's an example. So back the original format was 4:3, our box TVs. So it's a square.
Okay.
For the most part.
Sorry,
now it's widescreen.
Oh,
it's not 69.
Yeah.
So instead of when you keep the aspect ratio, that's when you see the black bars on the side.
Okay.
But if you don't keep the original aspect ratio, you have to stretch it out. And so when you stretch it out, you get the top and the bottom cut off. And this is the picture that's going around. So that's original aspect ratio. So you're seeing this joke. It's all three's going into the same. But here's what you see on Disney Plus. You missed the joke because the top's cut off.
Ouch. 10 million subscribers in one day. 10 million subscribers in one day.
Well,
that's a lot. How much does Netflix? Netflix has like 50 million, I think. Or I'm throwing that out there. That may be Spotify. Netflix is teaming up with Nickelodeon.
I wanted to resist so bad, and then I saw a video.
10.5 million, and you're that 5.
Saw a video on.
That makes no
if
sense.
you have Verizon, you go to your Verizon account and go into offers, and it'll be waiting for you. And that's what I did. So I get a free year. Verizon is paying me to watch that for a year.
See, that's bullshit because that goes as a subscriber, and you're not a real subscriber. That's what SiriusXM does. That shit all the time.
But I don't pay for it.
I know, but it's fudging the numbers, man.
I know.
And I bet they did it with a lot of people. I saw a lot of people going, "Yeah, I'll do it for free."
Yeah. Oh, of course. I still don't like to support it, but anyway.
I'm a grown ass man.
Yes, you are.
Have you been on it yet?
I've been on it. Haven't watched anything on it yet, though.
I've only like vaguely looked at what it offers. Apparently, it offers some old movies that are going to cause problems. Because I'll even admit those, even like when I was a kid or like when I got older and I'd see those crows. I mean, it's like holy shit.
What, racist or scary or
racist?
Oh.
Like fucking like very offensive black stereotypes. And you can see that in the Bugs Bunny cartoons too back in the day, where they have like non-PC shit.
Yeah, like they have Japanese.
They'll do black
like the Japanese soldiers.
They'll do black stuff like that too, though. And I remember this is an Artie Lang thing where he was talking about one of his specials, where like Foghorn Leghorn was trying to get the kid to play baseball. He wouldn't play baseball. He's like, "There's something funny about a kid who won't play baseball." Like, yeah, you can't. I mean, he did that with his arm. Like, you can't. I don't know, but someone should have fucking thought about this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who didn't realize that? Because like back in the 40s, you could be blatantly racist and get away with it in films.
Well, we're talking about two different things now.
Are we?
So because we're complaining about Disney taking action and not taking action. It's not like them pulling an episode of The Simpsons because of something related to what? Pedophilia.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Even though they're like tied to Jeffrey Epstein.
Anyway.
Go ahead. Jeffy Epstein.
But then you're saying
who's murdered in his cell.
They should have done something about Dumbo? Like, where do you draw a line? Where do you draw the line? It's
Okay,
either you do something or do nothing.
Okay, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something.
Okay. An episode of The Simpsons that has the voice of Michael Jackson, an accused pedophile, pretty much can probably go out on a limb and say that's what he was, based on the Finding Neverland stuff, which is still being debated. I don't know. I wasn't there. Sounds a little spooky. And he also was a fucking crazy, unstable person. All right. I remember watching that 2020 where they went to his Neverland Ranch. It was fucking disturbing. Okay. There's a difference between him voicing a character during the height of his fame before all that shit happened to blatant black stereotypes in children cartoons. That's an adult show meant for adults that has a pop star. Okay, it's way worse. The Dumbo thing is way worse. The shit I'm reading that they have from the 40s is way worse. It's completely culturally insensitive and does not apply to today's world in a healthy manner. But having a accused pedophile voice a character, I don't know. Because who are you hurting? Are you hurting Michael Jackson? Are you hurting his estate? No.
It was pulled from rotation.
That's right. You'll never see it again.
Before the Disney Plus thing.
That's stupid.
Because of the documentary.
Like, have you heard of the Lady Gaga song, Do What You Want?
Maybe it has something to do with money. No, I haven't. Do What You Want.
Yeah, Do What You Want. It's a good song, but it features R. Kelly. And they even performed it on SNL, and R. Kelly was performing it with her. And after all that shit came out, she had Christina Aguilera sing over it. It sounds like shit. I know R. Kelly's a monster, but should you really take I guess back to our whole fucking concept of everything. Should you just erase everything? I mean, yes, R. Kelly sucks and he's a scumbag and he's a monster, but you knew that at the time. Everyone knew that at the time. So now you just want to ruin a song that's popular, ruin a Michael Jackson, ruin a Simpsons episode just because you didn't give a shit at the time, and then everyone got mad. So okay, let's just erase this thing we created.
Right.
I mean, every artist throughout the history of time, and I'm not condoning any of this. Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, they're all fucking pedophiles. It was acceptable to be a pedophile back then.
Someone made the point that
should we get rid of all that?
They got rid of that episode, but A Bug's Life featuring Kevin Spacey voicing.
Well, good point.
Hopper.
Good point.
You can't. It's like you said. So if you
do all of it
you
or
pull
none of
everything,
it,
there might not be much left on that.
I get you. I get you wanting to distance yourself from Michael Jackson and everything. I get that, but I don't think having him on there would have done any harm.
Maybe it came down to because there was a song on that episode. I wonder if it came down to money.
It might have been Lisa. It's your birthday. Yeah, happy birthday, Lisa. Yeah.
Let me look. Well, that won't be a credit.
But
maybe he wrote that, or maybe his state.
That would have cost money if they're you need to write a song for this, Michael. You know what I mean? They probably had a writer write that. I'm just thinking.
I don't know. He's singing on it though,
right?
So he probably gets some sort of. He does. If your voice is on anything that's music related, you get a credit. It's a performance credit. It might not be a written.
They've
credit.
had other people on there perform though. He's not the only one that's ever sang on that show.
Okay, here's the thing. We've talked about this before with an older person or someone who's been with the company for a long time. A news person or someone, and they say one little mess up and they're fired. Well, was it just that one little mess up, or was it just an excuse?
What?
Hypothetically, we're talking about what are we talking about? We're talking about something like an older, either weatherman or something, and they say something stupid on there, and then they get fired immediately. So hypothetically, is it because of that one little thing, or is it because we've been trying to get rid of you for a while? And
I'll give you an example.
There's our out.
The radio duo that is no more, Opie and Anthony. Anthony's a fucking racist. It's obvious he's a fucking racist. He's pretty open about being a fucking racist. He's a fucking Italian piece of shit who lives in Long Island. He's funny as fuck though, or he was funny as fuck. He tweeted some racist shit. He was in Times Square. I mean, this is like the only thing he can hang his hat on since no one gives a fuck about him anymore. He goes around talking about this. He was in Times Square, and I think he took a picture. He's taking pictures. What the fuck? Why? You live there. Why the fuck are you taking pictures? Sounds like sketchy as fuck. There's more to him being creepy than that, but allegedly. You go on Reddit and type in Anthony Cumia. Some black woman was in the picture and flipped out on him and started like hitting him. We weren't there. What we were there for was what he said on Twitter afterwards. And he referred to them as acting like animals. And his defense was hitting someone is acting like an animal. Obviously, you know how that's racially insensitive to refer. Because I think some other black people came up to him and were like, what's going on? Anyway, this guy's a fucking millionaire. Like, why are you doing this? Why are you like even like having these altercations? So they fired him. And it was like kind of like that. Of all this shit you'd fire him over, like he's been like way worse shit than that. And, you know, come to find out like Opie hated him, Anthony, they hated each other. It was like a dysfunctional, toxic thing. And the SiriusXM like was had it with his bullshit behavior. So I think like, yeah, if it wasn't that, it was something else. What he said, it was just him being him. It was nothing unusual. So I think they used that as an excuse to can his ass. Now he's doing what we're doing, probably less successful, like doing a podcast. But what blows your mind is when it's somebody you don't see coming. When it's somebody who's like supposed to be like of high standard. Like this guy's a scumbag shock jock from the shock jock era. So of course he'd say something fucked up. That doesn't shock me at all. Oh yeah, you know, it's 2016, 17 when it happened. Of course, fire him. Yeah. Well, 20 years of it was okay though. You know what I mean?
Right.
20 years of it was okay. But then you see somebody like, I'm trying to think of examples. Somebody who like isn't like shocking or edgy or even a comedian, and they fuck up and say something, and then you know. It's like, come on. Like, depending on what it is, come on, you know.
Right.
That's when you go, yeah, some shit was going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. And this is, we got you now, and you're going to leave, or, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, yeah, I believe there is truth to that. I also believe, though, that, like, people are really sensitive, like, management. So if you're, like, they are scared shitless of getting sued. So they'll distance you. There's no loyalty. There's no loyalty. No. If you're a liability, no matter who you are, they'll distance themselves from you.
Not even getting sued, but depending on who you are. But
boycott,
losing sponsorships,
protests. I mean, some people, protests. I mean, so the guy's already a controversial figure. So it's not that like I'm trying to think of somebody that's like not someone that like fucked up, like had a slip or something. And they just got fucking railroaded. I can't think of anybody. I know it's happened. You know, Kevin Hart, he's not like, he's a comedian, but he had like, I mean, he couldn't host the Oscars. He bowed out of the Oscars because 10 years ago he made some gay jokes on Twitter. And I asked a gay man, you know, are these offensive? He's like, no, this is fucking bullshit. Like, who gives a shit? I love Kevin Hart. The guy's like, I love Kevin Hart. I think he's fucking funny. He's like, I actually think those tweets are funny. But they dug him up from 10 years ago. And he couldn't host the Oscars. Or he could. I think he wouldn't have. I respect him because I think he said, fuck you. I think he just stepped down. And they had no host that year.
I heard Gervais is hosting the Oscars again, or hosting something. Golden Globes.
He's not PC.
I know. See, maybe we're trending
That's
back.
the worst crowd, though, is celebrities. You're like performing for celebrities.
Yeah.
They're not like the best crowd because they're so up their own ass. They're just so concerned about how they look and the camera's on me, ha ha, you know. I can't tell you how many hosts like just fucking do so bad. They're funny people, but it's just like bad. They do bad. So-and-so hosts the Oscars. It was bad. So-and-so hosts the MTV Awards. Like Sebastian Maniscalco or whatever. Yeah. He's hilarious. He's performing for a bunch of fucking tweens and like pop stars. He's set up to fail from the beginning.
From who, though? Who said he failed? Who says he failed?
I don't say he failed.
Right.
I liked what he said. I thought it was funny. It just shows everybody who complained proved him right. Because he's basically bagging on millennials. He's telling everybody where the safe space is. He's like the Old Town Road. Huh?
Genzers.
You can't laugh at yourself. I mean, come on, you know.
These kids, I don't know what you want to call them.
They're not all like that. There's normal people. I don't mean to say they're not normal, but it's a fad, I think, and it's good to be socially conscious, but you can't like just shut people down all the time.